Is there anything else that I can do to make sure my heart rate is low as I get into bed?
Absolutely. Meditate.
Okay.
Breath work. All kinds of good
brings my
stuff.
heart rate down.
Yeah, absolutely. So what a lot of people don't realize is just because we're breathing doesn't mean we're actually breathing in a way, shape, and form that can be helpful for us for sleep. So in my most recent book, Sleep, Drink, Breathe, I talk a lot about breath work and what is it and how does it work for you. But I'd love to teach you my favorite form of breath work and meditation that I think you'll get a lot out of. So,
and I do this before bed?
Exactly.
Okay.
And you can, by the way, you can do it in the middle of the night if you wake up as well. Right? So let's talk about how to fall asleep and do some relaxation exercises for that. And then I'm gonna give you some different ones for in the middle of the night. So let's talk at the beginning of the night. So number one, you need runway to land the plane, okay? So many people think they're just waiting for their head to be bobbing in front of the TV and then they go brush their teeth and they get in bed and then all of a sudden they're wide awake and they don't know what's going on, right? So you need time for your system to shut down. It's not an on-off switch. It's more like slowly pulling your foot off the gas and slowly putting your foot on the brake. There's a process. It should take you about 12 to 15 minutes to actually fall asleep, okay? So number one, what I ask people to do is take the last hour before bed and chop it up into 3 20-minute segments, right? So let's say you're going to bed at 11, starting at 10 o'clock. And by the way, set an alarm on your phone to tell you that it's 10 o'clock because it's really easy to slide by your bedtime and then all of a sudden it's like all bets are off. So set the alarm. 20 minutes for shit you just gotta do. So in our house, it used to be getting backpacks together for school for our kids, finding sports equipment, maybe laying out my stuff for work the next day or getting the last email sent, something like that. 20 minutes for hygiene, right? Brush your teeth, wash your face, maybe take a shower, something along those lines. And then 20 minutes for some form of meditation, relaxation, prayer. I don't care what you do, but it has to be something that's calming to get you there. Okay, so one of my favorite techniques to do is meditation. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm a terrible meditator. I have never been able to do it. I've actually gotten kicked out of meditation retreats because I'm the guy that's like, what's going on? Like, am I doing it right? You know, I'm kind of that person. And so I was told about this tool called a Muse headband. We have one right here. So this is my personal Muse. I actually brought it from home. And you'll notice on the inside there are sensors here, and there are sensors along the earpiece here. And so what happens is you wear it on your head, right? And it's measuring your brain waves. And so when check it out. And so when we're doing it and we're measuring brain waves, yep, exactly. And that goes on the back part. Yeah, there you go. So what's cool about this is it's attached to an app. And then while it's measuring your brain waves, you're listening to a particular music. It could be a guided meditation. It could be any of those things. And while you're doing this, the volume gets lower. And then you know you're getting closer to a meditative state.
The volume comes down when?
On the app, when your brainwave starts to relax.
Oh, okay.
So you're immediately getting feedback. We can try it if you want. But it's pretty interesting. And then when you get to the alpha state, little birds start chirping.
The alpha state?
Yeah, the alpha state is when your eyes are closed and you're at the most relaxed state of your brainwaves. It's called the alpha state. And that's really what people are trying to get to for meditation.
And are you affiliated with this company in any way?
I'm not.
And how much does it cost?
I think it's around $275, I think is the headband.
Okay, interesting.
It's pretty fascinating. I've been pretty impressed with them.
So that's meditation. Mm-hmm. You talked about breath work as well before?
Yeah, let's talk about it. So one of the other things that I do is I do something, well, this isn't breath work. This is called progressive muscle relaxation. So this is where you tense and relax muscles, starting from your feet and going all the way up your body. And as you tense and relax the muscles, you feel that relaxation from releasing that tension, and it helps you fall asleep. Actually, you know what I can do is I can send you an audio file that has me walking through progressive muscle relaxation that we can make available for everybody if you want, for free. It's no big deal.
Amazing. I'll put that in the description below as well.
Yeah, people will really dig it. I think they'll really enjoy it. So that's another thing that we do. But now let's talk about the middle of the night, right? So, by the way, do you have this as an issue? Has this happened to you before?
It happens sometimes, and it's typically when like my sleep is somewhat disordered or disruptive, or when there's really something on my mind.
Yes. So that precipitory anxiety, like before flight, like if I have an 8 o'clock in the morning flight, like I sleep like shit the night before because I'm constantly worried about that, right? But a lot of times what people do normally is they just wake up in the middle of the night and they can't return to sleep and they're really not sure why. So number one, there's biology involved. So your core body temperature rises, and when it hits a peak, it drops. That drop is then a signal to your brain to release melatonin, right? Again, the key that starts the engine for sleep. However, your core body temperature continues to drop. By the way, this is the reason why we tell people you want to sleep in the cool, not the warm environment. Because again, your core body temperature is dropping. If it's too hot, your core body temperature can't go down and you can't get to sleep.
Which tracks with evolution.
Exactly. So here's where it gets interesting, is it keeps going. And then at some point in time, your body has to heat up. And if it doesn't heat up, you go hypothermic. Guess what time that is? Between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, your body starts heating up at 1 and 3 o'clock.
Every single person's body on Earth does this. Everybody on Earth wakes up between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning. However, most people burp, roll over, get comfortable, and fall back asleep in 30 seconds. However, there's a select group of people who end up being my patients who don't have that, and herein lies the problem. So here are the steps you want to take in the middle of the night to be able to solve this issue. So number 1, don't go pee. I know. People are like, what? What are you talking about, Michael? So here's what ends up happening is when people wake up in the middle of the night, they say to themselves, well, I'm up, I might as well go pee. Right? Here's the problem. Remember, I told you the big metric was in order to enter into a state of unconsciousness, you need a heart rate of 60 or below, right? What do you think happens to your heart rate when you go from a lying position to a seated position to a standing position? You walk across the room. Your heart rate goes straight up. So what we want to do is keep your heart rate down. So if you don't really have to go to the bathroom, don't go to the bathroom. 75% of people sleep on their sides and they kind of squunch up, which means they're putting pressure on their bladder. So my guess is that most of those people, if all you did was when you woke up is lie and get on your back for about 25 seconds and see if you still need to pee. If you don't need to pee, stay in bed and keep your heart rate down. If you need to pee, please go pee, right? If you're going to go to the bathroom, have a strategically placed night light along the way so you don't have to flip on the light in the water closet, because if you do that, you just told your brain it's morning and it stops producing melatonin. But let's say you don't have to pee. The second thing, don't look at your phone. Now, this turns out to be very difficult for 99% of the people out there, because the first thing they do is they grab their phone and they head to the bathroom, right? And they're either checking emails, looking at Facebook or Twitter or whatever social media they're on.
Or just trying to figure out what time it is.
And that's where the problem is as soon as you see the time, you instantly do the mental math, and now you're pissed off, right? It's 3:30 in the morning. I got to get up at 6. Sleep. And you try to force your brain to sleep. Dude, in the history of time, nobody has been able to force their brain to sleep, okay? Because your heart rate's going in the wrong way, right? It needs to be coming down. So if you can, don't look at the clock. All right, so you haven't peed, you haven't looked at the clock, but you're still awake and nothing's going on. Here's where the breathing technique comes in. It's called 4-7-8 breathing. I did not develop this technique. It was developed by Dr. Andrew Wild, Harvard-trained natural doctor, super smart dude. He did it for the military to teach them how to lower their heart rate during stressful situations. We use it because it helps lower our heart rate past 60. And it's super simple. I'm gonna get you to try it. So go ahead and sit up straight, okay? And so all you're gonna do is breathe in for a count of 4, you're gonna hold for a count of 7, and you're gonna breathe out for a count of 8. And I'm gonna walk you through it. I want you to have your eyes closed. And what I also want you to do, you're gonna go in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then what I also want you to do is picture the number in your head. So when I say breathe in, 2, 3, 4, you should picture the 2, the 3, the 4 in your mind's eye, okay?
With my eyes closed?
With your eyes closed. You ready?
Yep.
Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Push 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. You don't want to get through about 20 cycles of that. It's incredibly relaxing. I actually did it before I came out here to do the pod because it helps lower my heart rate and gets me centered. It's pretty remarkable. Now, there's some problems with the technique. Number 1, sometimes it's hard to hold for 7, and sometimes it's really hard to push for 8. So I tell people you can do this 4, 5, 6, 4, 6, 7, or 4, 7, 8. So just work your way up to it, right? If it's too hard to hold your breath for 7 seconds or it's too hard to push your breath for 8, you can do a little bit less just while you're getting used to it. And then the other big thing is it's hard to figure out where the 20 cycles is because you need to get to 20 cycles of this. So what I have people do is take their hands and make light fists while they're doing this. And when they do one cycle, they put out a finger. Another cycle, put out a finger. And before you know it, you got 10. And when you bring it back, you've done 20 cycles.
It's funny, I just did 2 and I started yawning.
I know, I just saw that. I'm telling you, dude, this thing works, right? And so I have people do this technique. Here's the best part, is it avoids monkey mind, right? So what is monkey mind? Monkey mind is I'm thinking about stuff that I have no business thinking about in the middle of the night for absolutely no reason. Like what's on the grocery list, or what did I say to my spouse, or did that podcast go okay, or any of the things that might be floating through your head. You cannot count and worry at the same time.
And why does it work? What's going on in my physiology?
You're distracting the brain from the thing that's stressing you out, and it's lowering your heart rate, and then the natural sleep process comes in after it. So all these are distraction techniques, to be clear. Now, there's several of them out there. One of the other ones I use for some of my patients is I tell them, hey, count backwards from 300 by threes. It's mathematically so complicated, you can't think of anything else, and it's so damn boring, you're out like a light.
On that point of distractions, a lot of people go to bed listening to podcasts or movies. Jack was just saying that you know, he needs to listen to something to fall asleep. I'm the same. I listen to like serial killer stuff, which is
that's interesting.
Don't judge me.
Wait till we get to the dreams part of the podcast. I can't wait to hear what you dream about.
I think I always try and figure out why it is. And my sister's the same. My sister Amanda, and she listens to serial killer stuff to fall asleep. And I think it's because, this is just hypothesis, my mum would always ask me to put on Forensic Files, which is this like serial murder documentary thing.
My
when
wife
we were
loves
younger, because she couldn't use the remote. So my mum would say, she'd pass me the remote and say, put on Forensic Files. And I'd like put on the number for her.
Right.
And so that was always playing in our house at nighttime.
Right.
And we all had TVs in our bedroom that just mirrored what was playing downstairs.
Of course.
So when I got into bed, I'd watch Forensic Files and I'd fall asleep.
This explains a lot about you.
I know, right? When you say that to people, they think you're
So let me tell you what it's like in my house. And actually, you and I have a commonality. So in my house, we have a big screen TV. It's on all night long.
Where? In which room?
In my bedroom.
Okay.
When I met my wife, she said to me, Michael, if you ever happen to spend the night, I want to let you know that I sleep with the television on. I said, don't worry about that, Lauren. I'm going to be a sleep doctor. I'm going to fix that. We met when I was 30. So known her for quite a while. And you ever tried to change something in your bed partner?
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, good luck. So I took the TV out. She said, if you ever want to come back in here again, I suggest you I put the TV back in. And then I studied her to learn what was going on. And it turns out that she's listening to it out of what I call the corner of her ear. Her eyes aren't even open. And half the time it's a episode of Seinfeld or something like that. My wife actually likes murder mysteries. And so it's usually Forensic Files or something along those lines that's going on. But for her, it's a perfect distraction technique. Now, there's a second thing that's important in our bedroom that happens is we have 2 dogs. They sleep in the bed with us. I'm the freaking sleep doctor, dude. Like, it's insane. But the point here is sleep is flexible, okay? Just because it works for you doesn't mean it works for your bed partner, and vice versa is also true, right? Like, just because some people can't sleep with the TV on doesn't mean that it's gonna mess up your sleep forever to have the television on, because it's not. And by the way, 99% of TVs have timers built into them. Like, if you don't know what it is, ask your kid. I had to ask my son. He showed me how to use it. We turned it off. It wasn't a problem, right? So creating a sleep environment that is conducive to sleep for you and your bed partner can have a lot of variation to it. And I don't think there's no hard and fast rule that says, hey, nobody should ever sleep with the TV on. I mean, there are people out there who say that, but quite frankly, everybody sleeps with the TV on.
Well, a lot of people do. I wouldn't put the TV on in our bedroom. I mean, we've done it once or twice or whatever, because we're watching something and we slip off to sleep and I wake up and I realize it's on and I turn it off. But I also really think it's an important point to say that people will listen to podcasts like this. They'll listen to the like biohackers of the world.
Yes.
And then they'll get so militant about how they fall asleep that it will cause friction because one partner's different.
Don't do that.
And I had this problem in my relationship, which was my girlfriend sleeps in silence and has like just such a glorious routine to everything she does.
Right.
And I am
completely the opposite.
The opposite. Like I want to listen to a murder.
Opposites attract.
I could be on my phone. It's like when I look at my Whoop scores, works for me.
Yeah.
It's like I get great sleep, even if I'm listening to a serial killer documentary. So,
but not if you eat a cookie before bed.
Not if I eat a cookie. That's gone. But what I do is I put one AirPod in my right ear, so whichever ear is not going to be on the pillow. And it means I can listen to her if she says something.
Right.
But when it's silence, all I hear is the thing that I'm listening to.
So I've got a trick for you.
And I wake up in the morning and dig the AirPod out of the bed where it ended.
Right. So now I'm going to help you with the digging of the AirPod. So first of all, they now make these things called pillow speakers.
Oh, interesting.
Right, so it's a Bluetooth speaker that will attach to your phone that you can just slide, and it's just under your pillow, so only you can hear it. So that's number one. You might want to consider that, and they're pretty inexpensive. Number two, they now make specifically earbuds designed to be slept in.
Oh, nice.
So there's a new company out called NextSense, and they have developed an earbud that actually measures your brain waves while you are sleeping. And when you move into a lighter stage of sleep, it sends in a frequency signal to help you go back to sleep or to stay in that depth of sleep. Brand new company, NextSense. I have nothing to do with them. I mean, it's a friend of mine who owns the company, but I'm not on their board.
I would like something to do with them.
We'll figure that out.
So does it allow you to play your music as well?
It does.
Or your podcast or whatever?
I can listen to Diary of a CEO every single night while I fall asleep.
That's amazing.
And it will make sure that I don't wake up from any dreams.
And you can still like and subscribe and stuff.
Even through the earbuds, of course. I think everybody should like and subscribe.
I think it's a good feature, like an AI agent that helps you subscribe. Okay, so that's you woke up in the middle of the night, you don't pee, you don't check your phone, you're doing these breathing exercises, you don't give yourself a hard time.
And then what happens? It doesn't work.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah.
Right? So there's the new research on something called non-sleep deep rest. We call it yoga nidra. Okay, it's been around for thousands of years. When you lie relaxed in like a corpse pose like this, you're actually doing something that's valuable for your sleep. Now, I want to be clear, it's not the same as sleep, but if you lie there for an hour, it's like 20 minutes worth of sleep. So everybody should know that even lying relaxed and calm is very, very helpful, right? But if you start to get anxious and your heart rate starts to tick up, you need to get yourself out of bed, because all you're doing then is thinking, hey, this bed is this place where I get anxious and pissed off. This is not a place to sleep. So as long as you stay nice and quiet, the non-sleep deep rest, absolutely the thing to do. The other big thing that I do, and by the way, this happens to me on occasion too, like I'm not immune to it just because I'm a sleep doctor, you have to stay positive. And what do I mean by that is everybody, when they wake up in the middle of the night, your brain is set to negativity. There's no reason you should be up at 3 o'clock in the morning that something good is going on, right? Nobody's coming in and wishing you happy birthday at 3 o'clock in the morning. Something terrible has happened, and your brain has gotten accustomed to that. So when it wakes up, it immediately goes to the negative, and you start thinking about bad things. You can't stop your first thought, but you can stop your second thought, right? And so when you wake up and you think negative, what I want you to replace that with is, okay, Michael, for some reason, your body has decided to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's not the game that I wanted to be playing tonight. However, I think I'm going to be okay. I'm just going to lie here and relax and let the natural sleep process take over. If I feel my heart rate increasing, I'm going to go to another room in the house where I've already got a book and a light set up so I can do a little bit of light reading and then come back to sleep. And I just tell myself that. I give myself permission to just chill. Just relax. And then you know what happens? The natural sleep process comes over. As soon as your heart rate starts to go down, your body wants to get back to sleep. And so it really has a lot to do with heart rate.
I love having these conversations on the Diary of a CEO because I have a huge amount of sympathy and concern for people that don't get sufficient sleep. And I know there's a lot of people that don't. And I actually think to some degree, it's somewhat increasing because of the way we live our lives. I was looking